This is the moment we waited for.
Artlist.io.
We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot 'em my shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now. When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing down.
Music licensing reimagined.
Watch the game change, yeah.
Artlist.io.
Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. I do not gamble, but bet on me. Tell them that's life, yeah, it's la vie. I'm taking a shot for my enemies. I can't waste no more time on my energy. I know they know I got it on lock. Go against me, that's a long shot. Cause I'm counting wins.
Music licensing reimagined.
Boy, don't stop. Who do you feel when they make you the monster? I am not scared of none of you imposters. Taking the lead now while they watching. Think you should leave now while the options. Taking no else, yeah, I gotta win. Watch me kick down the door, they won't let me in. I'm running the game now. Foot on the gas, can slow down, no. My team, we holding it down. We know we running it now. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Yeah.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. On this Thursday night, welcome into Sports Chat with Mr. 33. I am he, Mr. 33. And on tonight, we're going to talk about that very important NFC East game between the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. And for the most part, it was a very defensive-oriented game. But, you know, the Eagles came out. They came out in the second half, outscoring really in the fourth quarter. As the fourth quarter started, it was 10-6, and they outscored the Commanders 20-8 in the fourth quarter, which gives the Eagles a 26-18 lead. I mean, a victory over the Washington Commanders. Excuse me. And if we go into the stats, we can really see what happened, right? So you had Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was 18-28, 221 yards, no touchdown passes, no interceptions. Then you got Saquon Barkley, ran the ball 26 carries for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. Gainwell had a nice game. He only had 4 carries, but they were for 43 yards, no touchdowns. And Jalen Hurts has a rushing TD with 39 rushing yards on 10 carries. He didn't really do too much passing the ball per se. A.J. Brown had, the most receptions, him and Dallas Goedert. 65 receiving yards for A.J. Dallas Goedert had 61. For the Commanders, right, you had Jaden Daniels. Is it Jaden? It's Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts. All right, gotcha. 22 of 33, 191 yards, 1 touchdown, one pick in the fourth quarter. Mr. Robinson coming back this week, and he had 63 rushing yards on 16 carries with a touchdown. Uh, his, his passing touchdown was to Zach Ertz, but his most utilized weapon tonight was the running back Eckler, who had 89 receiving yards on 8 carries. But he only ran the ball 2 times for 7 yards. So basically, McLaurin had the main weapon that he usually have, Terry McLaurin, he only had 1 catch for 10 yards. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not going to get a victory. It's very rare you get a victory with your main target only getting one reception for 10 yards. And that reception came, I believe, in the middle of the third quarter. So you're not going to win crucial games like that. This was a very pivotal game. As I said, this was for the NFC East lead. And now, because of that loss, you might as well say that the Commanders are 2 games back to go, 2 games behind the Eagles, because the Eagles now own the tiebreaker, but the Commanders are 7-4, and the Eagles are 8-2, which literally means they're a game and a half back. But of course, in NFL, half games don't matter. But that's why we just go up to 2 games. So it was a very, like I said, it was a defensive game. Nobody was really doing nothing in the first half. At the end of the half, the score was 7-3, and then they exchanged field goals in the third quarter, but fourth quarter, Saquon came alive. He had at least out of his 146, he had more than half of them in the fourth quarter with the 2 touchdowns. So you can't, Philadelphia, they took their time. They wasn't playing well in the first half, but they stuck to their game plan, which was to run the ball. A little sprinkle of passing here and there, but the ground game is what took off in the fourth quarter for them. And then, they had Saquon Barkley, and the Commanders did not. And because of that, now the Eagles are in sole control of the NFC East, going, with 7 games to play for them. Well, 7 games for both teams, but it's like 7 weeks to go. So this division is not officially over, but the win may have taken the momentum away from the Commanders, especially after the way they lost last week. They're a young team, so they got the rookie quarterback. I was excited to see what he can do in a pivotal game, right? Because coming out of college, he's the Heisman Trophy winner, but he wasn't. He was quote unquote not ready. He was, according to the draft, second best quarterback, but he's done a lot of good this season. But now, because this is the second team he lost against, and they're a winning team, it makes you go back and see who did they beat coming in. So that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and see what's going on. Who did they win? Like, what are their games, and who did they win? Who did they beat? And things of that nature, right? So let's go ahead and look at it. They beat the Commanders. They beat the Patriots. They lost to the Bucks. Let me see if I read this. Oh, it's preseason, excuse me. Oh, no, they beat the Commanders. They lost to the Commanders game 1. Lost to the Commanders. They won against the Giants. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Cardinals. The Browns. They lost to Baltimore. They beat the Panthers. They beat the Bears on the Hail Mary. They beat the Giants again. So their season series with the Giants is over. They lost to Pittsburgh and they lost to the Eagles. So 1, 2, 3. So 3 of the 4 teams that they lost against are above 500. The only ones that's not, well, and if we're being fair to the Buccaneers had their entire squad there. They had their wide receivers, they had their running back, they had Baker Mayfield. So in reality, the Commanders are beating the teams that they're supposed to beat. But when it's time to rise up to the competition, they pretty much haven't done that so far, right? Because every other team has even the Patriots. I mean, excuse me, the Buccaneers. But at that time, the Buccaneers started the season off 2-0. But let's just look at it. The Giants are below 500. The Bengals are below 500. They beat the Cardinals, but the Cardinals are above 500. But they wasn't then, right? They beat the Browns. They're below 500. And they lost to Baltimore. They beat the Panthers. They're below 500. They beat the Bears. They're below 500. Right? So when you look at the games that they won and the time that they won them, the teams are all playing subpar. So now it allows you to ask the question: are the Commanders playing football? Are they playing well enough to beat the teams above 500? Because according to what I just read you, the schedule and the teams that they beat at the time that they played, all of those teams were 500 and below, meaning they didn't win 50% of their games. So now you have to sit back and really evaluate the Commanders. I know people want, question if they're flukes or, are they willing, are they worthy of the playoffs? Right now they are, because they're still a 7-win team. Commander, what up, 9? Right? So you have to sit back and really observe. If you watch the game, you have to pay attention and see, are they really worthy of these games, right? For example, besides the Hail Mary, they could have easily lost that game, right? So they would have been what, 6-5, right? Very easily they could have been that, right? So it's about how you observe the way that they play the game, right? You're saying, okay, he can play the game, the quarterback can play the game, but even with some of the losses, like, they was not his fault. The game against the Steelers wasn't his fault. He matched Russell Wilson play for play, and they just scored that last touchdown, and then they jumped off sides to give the Steelers the first down, and that basically iced the game, because the Steelers understood they didn't want to give Jaden Daniels a chance to win that game, because all they needed was a field goal, and all he had to do was drive him down the field. So those are the things that you have to watch out. When you watch these games, you have to pay attention to those little itty bitty details to see whether or not they can actually. I think he can win these games, but he needs help. For example, tonight he cannot possibly thought he was going to win this game, and his favorite target only had one reception. Now, I know people want to say it was because of the cornerback. I don't even remember the cornerback name, but I know that cornerback, he's not rated up there. And if your eye test show you, if it doesn't fail you, you understand that the Eagles don't have that type of backfield to where they can stop wide receivers. But on this night, they made it look like he was a world beater. So, give the Eagles credit. They did what they had to do. They ground and pound them to death. Had enough for Jalen Hurts not to turn the ball over. But that number 26. Let's talk about Saquon Barkley. Saquon came into the game with 991 rushing yards, and he ended the game with 146 more. So what is that? 7, 3, 1,137 yards rushing. Now, I know that they say running backs are insequential, that they don't matter anymore. But between him and King Henry, you can't say that anymore. You can see the improvement of how well these quarterbacks are playing with an efficient running game. If you look at this 6-game winning streak that the Eagles are now on, Saquon Barkley has been the spark, the energy that they've been riding. They've been running efficiently through Saquon Barkley. And when you can run the ball, you allow your quarterback not to be turnover prone. I think since they've been winning, I think he only has Jalen Hurts only has 1 turnover in the 6 games, I think. In the beginning, he had 4, I believe. 4, 5, 4. So, when, like I said, when you could take that pressure off your quarterback, it's a different game. It's that's the beauty of sports. Sometimes I just wish, if we apply these things to everyday life, we would be fine. But if you see the main guy struggling, you do what you can to pick up the slack and make it easier for the main guy, which in this case is the quarterback, because he's always in possession of the ball. He's always going to have the ball more than anybody. But when you can take that workload off that quarterback, look how relaxed they are now. Even tonight, right? The things wasn't going well, but they stuck with it. Saquon said this, and at the end of the day, I got you. Just give me the ball. I'm gonna break a couple. We gonna see how much they can withstand this rushing attack. And fourth quarter they was wearing down. Once they scored their touchdown, it was a different story. So you gotta understand the importance of teamwork, right? And that's the thing that we talk about, in everyday aspects. You can't really ask for nothing better when you got that efficiency, right? Let's just look at the rushing attempts, right? So Saquon Barkley had 26 carries, Jalen Hurts had 10, and Gainwell had 4. So that's 40 carries. 4, 9, 18, 7, 11, 12, 228 yards. So that's over 5 yards a carry, right? You don't got to throw the ball but 28 times. You don't have to do things like that. All because you have somebody that's holding you down while while you're having a quote unquote bad game, inefficient game to other people. Like I said, Jalen Hurts had no touchdowns, no interceptions. But that rushing attack allowed them to control the game, control the momentum of the game. When you look at the time of possession, they had the ball 7 minutes more than the Commanders, and it showed because they had 228 rushing yards, and the Commanders only had 93. So they had to play from behind. And when you play from behind, you're trying to score as quickly as possible. And when you get when the other team stops you, you try to run them out the building. And that's what the Eagles did tonight. So, big win for the Eagles. I should have found out who they played, but they're not playing on Sunday. They'll play next Sunday So, you know, they play, let me see right now. They play today. No, they play the Rams on the 24th. So they got a nice 10-day rest. They get to go home with a victory. Well, they was in Philly, so they get to relax for a victory. Then they go out to LA next Sunday. Uh, and besides that, that's since that's the only game of the night and things like that, we can go ahead. I'm gonna shoot to basketball real quick, but it was a big win for the Eagles. They take a 2-game lead in the division. But I'm gonna talk about basketball real quick. On a sad note, before we get into anything, right? The San Antonio Spurs coach, Greg Popovich, it has been revealed that he suffered a stroke a couple of weeks ago. Uh, if you follow basketball, you understand that Greg Popovich is a 5-time coach, a 5-time NBA championship coach. He led the Spurs to 5 championships. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, people like that, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, those type of guys. We pray that he gets a speedy a speedy recovery and he come back home. But the man is 75 years old, and we always talk about how Father Time wins a lot, but on this type of aspect, it's just different because I guess people love what they do, but trying to coach these grown individuals who make millions and millions of dollars, it has to be hard and strenuous on a person. And when you devote your life to coaching, sometimes you don't know how to step down, so to speak, like get out of the way. Time has passed you, whatever the case may be. So, in that aspect, we wish him a speedy recovery. But I understand why he's not stepping down. He has a young, talented basketball player named Victor Wembanyama, and he is 7'4". He's a very special person. He's a unique person. He has many different gifts and things of that nature. So, I understand that he won't step down, but at the same time, yeah, health is more important. I get it. That's what you love to do, but you can't you can't sacrifice. I don't think no one should sacrifice themselves in that aspect when you have family and loved ones that want you to be here a little bit longer. But you've done this for he's literally done this coaching over 25 years. I think he started in 97. So what's that, 27 years? He's close to 30 years. He's been in 4 different decades of coaching. He was in the 90s. He brought the millennium in. He brought the 2010s. And now he's in the 2020s. So that's 4 decades. I don't know how much more contribution that he can bring now. If he wins a championship, then they'll have that conversation. But you gotta let things go. You gotta live life. But sometimes, these athletes, these coaches, they don't know how to step down, and they give their life to these professions, and they act like they don't understand that there's other things to do besides these professions, but they give so much time to these things that uh, they don't know how to step down. But we wish for Coach Pop to have a speedy recovery. Uh, We just want him to have a speedy recovery, get back soon, and hopefully all will be well. Now, also yesterday, last night, there was a whole bunch of scoring outbursts in the NBA. Right? For example, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, plays for the Milwaukee Bucks. He scored 59 points. Now, the same young man that I was talking about, Victor Wembanyama, he scored 50 points. Karl Anthony Towns, who played for the Knicks, he scored 46. Jordan Poole for the Wizards he scored 42 points. What I'm saying is that, the games are the basketball game is exciting when you see those the fellas put the ball in the basket. The way they put the ball in the basket, it's like it's mesmerizing. It's eye dropping. Steph Curry, he pull up from half court and make a 3-pointer, things like that. That's that's the new basketball. That's the new age basketball. It's fun, it's entertaining. So, you know, back in the days, they loved the 75 to 72 games and the real defensive minded games. You can say this about all sports, but I'm saying this about basketball because now more than ever, people are hitting 50 and 60 points. Devin Booker a couple of years ago had 70 points. Things of that nature, things that was unachievable back in the days. For those that don't know, Will Chamberlain scored 100 points in a basketball game, but that was like 60 years ago, 62 years ago. Excuse me, things like that. We know Kobe was the second closest with 81 points. And I think that was about 20 years ago as well. But, the way these fellas is putting the balls in the basket, they shooting threes, they crashing the board, slamming it on people, things like that. Basketball, the game is always the same. You got to put the ball in the basket. It's hard to do when you have you can do certain things that the era before you couldn't do, like the Euro step, the palming of the ball, things like that. You can do things like that. It makes the game, I guess, more exciting. But you sacrifice, defensive plays and things like that. You can't hand check. You can't put your hand on a person. You gotta, you can't really body them up. You know, but now the game is outside in anyway. So the 3-pointers is boss and things of that nature. So, you know, if you get an opportunity to watch the basketball game and then you look at things from 25, 30 years ago, you'll see the big difference. You got people that's 7 foot shooting 3-point baskets, or they attempt 3-pointers when 7-footers 30 years ago they played their back to the basket in the paint. The paint is considered, for those that don't know, on the basketball court, the lane with the colorful painting inside the foul line. That's the paint. So it was more get it down to the big fella because those were the high percentage shots. Because the closer to the basket you are, the more you're expected to make the basket. The further out you are, the less chances you get. Like all these 3-point shooters going on around here, they only shooting like 30, 35%. It's good if you shoot 40%. Right? It's like baseball. If you can hit the ball 3 out of 10 times, you're doing outstanding. It's the same thing for basketball. But like I said, 30 years ago, the closer to the basket, you're supposed to shoot 50, 55%, 60%. Those are the goals back then. But now this new age basketball and analytics and all of these number situation, it turns it into a different scenario. So, it's just a difference of the game. But we're gonna pick up with keeping track with this NBA. I'd rather do it after the NFL season. But when stuff like this occurs, I'll speak about it because at the end of the day, you know, football is winding down and it's close to playoff time. And, we got to get the seedings and things like that done. So we'll focus a little bit on the NFL. Basketball is not even, there's literally not a month in, even though they're starting the NBA Cup. Now, that for those that don't know, the NBA Cup is a thing that it's an in season tournament, and it consists of 14. It's going to consist of 4 teams, the best 4 teams in the brackets, uh, East A, B, C, and D, to go to Las Vegas to win a champ. Well, it's not a championship, but like a trophy, and it's going to consist of Tuesdays and Fridays. Like tomorrow, if anybody watches basketball tomorrow, and they see teams with the colorful courts, that allows you to know that they're in tournament play. They only do it twice a week till about December. I think it's December 12th. So if you see those type of things, and the games count for the season, but they also count for these tournaments that they're running, right? Except for the championship game. That's the only game that don't count. I don't understand the logic behind it, but that's the way that they have this thing going this year. Well, it's the second year. They did it last year, and the Lakers won that for the first annual tournament. So is that my 13? Yeah, we about to go live. Commander, the word going live in a minute, I guess. I got an alert. So but anyway, those are the games. You know, they try to do things to pick up viewership and things like that. So but the point about it is that they want you to see more. They wanted more scoring, and that's what they're getting in the NBA. So like right now they have a team. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 13-0, but they're not really spoken about too much because you still got people like LeBron James. They're talking more about LeBron James averaging triple, the last 3 games, getting triple doubles at the age of 39 than the fact that there's a team that's 13-0. I guess because they feel like the week, is 82 games. That 82 games is not gonna last. I mean, the undefeated streak is not going to last. It's not like the NFL where you can go 20-0 and win the Super Bowl. But I think that's the publicity that they should be focused on. No disrespect to LeBron James, he's great. He's some people consider him the GOAT. That argument with him and Michael Jordan, that's going to go on forever. The fact that he's still playing outstanding basketball at the age of 39, you can't take away from that. I just think that when you have a team sport, don't get me wrong, for those that don't know what a triple double is, right? Shout out to Lady Shay, she just came to my mind. A triple double is when you get 10 points and either 10 rebounds. You can have triple double, right? You get double digits in 3 categories. That's to put it mildly, right? For example, if I get 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, that's considered a triple double. Shout out to Lady Shay, right? Because she's the hostess with the mostest. You did that, Commander. But yeah, so he's doing that at the, playing 20 years in the league, but you got to focus on the teams that's playing really well. They're playing well, but they're not doing 13-0. And that's what that's the thing that I'm talking about. Now I know it won't last with the Cleveland Cavaliers because I'll probably come on here and say, remember when they was 13-0? They ain't win a championship. That's weird. But you know, it's just the greatness and longevity of LeBron James. He's like Tom Brady. Uh, people expect, people to fall off the map, once they hit a certain age and season in the NFL. Now, the same way we see how good LeBron James is playing, somebody's going to turn around and say, well, Aaron Rodgers is that old and he's not playing well. And that's the point. When you do the things that you need to do, the proof is always going to be in the pudding. Doesn't matter how old you are, you're going to see the effort. You're going to see the work effort. It's going to show. And when you look at LeBron James, you say, wow, that man's still playing basketball well at the age of 39. And here we are with Aaron Rodgers at 41 years old, and he's doing the total opposite. That's not a good look. It's not at all. I don't know why my damn phone is going off like this. But it's just different, right? And so, it's all about your effort. I'm not I know I'm supposed to be speaking about sports, but like I said, if you apply these type of things into your everyday life, your work ethic is going to show and it's going to inspire others to, to be, not be like you, but it's going to tell them, listen, I have to do something to match that energy. I got to step my game up. I got to do things. I can't let this old man beat me. I can't let this, or in James case, I can't let these little puppies, these little kiddos, beat me like this. Like, do you understand? Like the man is playing basketball with his son. How amazing is that? That's never been done in basketball before. Now we know that the Griffeys have done that in baseball, but no other time has that happened. You know what I mean? So that just goes to show that when your mind is focused and it's determined and you have that drive to do it, you can do whatever you want, right? Like he said, he wanted to play with his son. They drafted his son. It's going to be, people are saying he wasn't worthy of the draft pick or whatever. Don't even matter. The fact of the matter is he came on the court with his son, LeBron James Jr. They call him Bronny. I have that as a clip or a video, just because it's historic. You won't, we know in basketball you might see brothers play, you might see a father whose son is playing, but not a father and son playing. It's a difference. It's way more different than you know just you watching your son play, but you playing basketball with your son. You on the bench with your son, not coaching, but y'all suited up together. Y'all ride to the games together, or whatever the case may be. To talking strategy. Yo, what happens if they switch off on me? I don't think. Well, he doesn't call him dad or whatever, but it's just different, right? Like, man, but that's just the determination that we all supposed to have. If we want it, we gotta do the best we can to make it happen. If we ain't trying to make it happen, what's the point of it? You know, what's the point of even trying it? Uh, it's just a unique thing. But like I said, if we apply that to our everyday life, we can actually show up and be the best version of us and whatever it is, right? But we just talking about sports because this is what we do on Sports Chat. We talk about sports. Now, speaking of sports, tomorrow night, there's a boxing match. I'm gonna say a match, not to be disrespectful to these guys and their craft, but tomorrow night, Mike Tyson is supposed to fight. Oh God, what's the boy name? I almost said Logan Paul, but I think it's Jake Paul. Logan Paul is his brother. maybe someone who is not a parent might not understand how special that is. And that's the point. You're right, Commander, because they don't understand the uniqueness of doing something that you love to do, and you get the, you get to do it with your child. And that's a uniqueness. It's not like if it's a corporate job and you can, all right, come on, son, we're gonna go to work. It's different because it's more, you're more hands-on in sports than probably anything else in life, right? Like you could be a CEO, but you're not hands-on really because you got workers to do that, right? It's just a bit different. So the uniqueness of that scenario is like that. I don't think that'll ever happen. Well, it can happen in football, like the way that may happen if somebody's playing 20 years, like a lineman or a punter or a field goal kicker, right? But even with that, they can't come out at 18. They gotta wait 3 years to they gotta wait three. They have to have 3 years out of high school in order for that to happen. So that may never happen in football. But if that does, that'll be a momentous occasion. So, you know, shout out to Commander for making that point because it is a rarity, right? Like I said, it's only happened one time in baseball. Now that it happened in basketball, right? So, the uniqueness of that scenario is always a blessing to observe. And for me, I was proud to watch it. It's something that, I can always, I can tell my son about like, hey, these guys played together, you know, even if it was like 2 minutes, but they're on the same team. So they get to ride together, they get to hang out, they get to talk. There's nothing better than hanging out with your son and you getting paid for it, right? Because, most parents like, well, we get paid for this. We get paid weekly, right? WEAKLY. But when you get paid for that and you get to teach your son the tutelage and get him to understand it, and people get to, you get to get your game up and things like that, that's just a difference. Yeah, that's a historic moment. They get that. God forbid if they win the championship. Oh my goodness, you ain't gonna never hear the end of that. And then he gonna really be the GOAT. I think they having a conversation about being a GOAT now. If he win the championship with his son on the team, well, you're gonna hear all type of conspiracy. Oh, they rigged it, this, that, and the third, and they wanted them to win. And I don't know. But the question is, now that you see this, how much longer is LeBron gonna play? Like, what else is left for him to do? Now, he do have another son in college, so that may be something else he trying to do. I don't know. So it look like he playing backyard basketball. Hey, I got my two sons with me. We're gonna play 3-on-3. But I don't know. But you know, they will lose. Yeah, you're right. They're gonna lose their mind thinking about that. But oh, tomorrow, yeah, Tyson is supposed to fight Jake Paul. Now, for me, I don't know how to view this fight. I mean, I know it's going to be on Netflix. That's not what I meant. I don't know how to view the fight because Mike Tyson's 50-something years old. He's almost 60, and he's 58 exactly, if I'm not mistaken. And this is more of an exhibition fight, but they will have some certain fights on the card that's going to be meaningful. But the main event is that I don't I don't really think people understand the dynamics of this fight. Like if 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 we see Mike Tyson the way he hitting those people and sparring and things like that, this man could get hurt. But he's also 58 years old. He may not be able to see a right cross or a left cross coming. So I'm not expecting much per se, but because it's a sporting event or entertainment, you know, we may be on to have that conversation, right? So when I mean, I want to have that conversation tomorrow. Just just to see they're going to say it's an exhibition. It's not a meaningful fight because I don't think Jake Paul is an actual boxer. But you know, it'll be very interesting to watch to see like if Mike Tyson, you know, he's not going to be in his glory yet. We understand that, but at the same time, we're just going to see, how many. We don't even. I don't even know how many rounds it's going to go. But hopefully, it only goes like 3 rounds, 6 rounds. Nothing too stretched. He's 58 years old, so I don't know how many rounds it's going to go. But they're having, this fight was put off from July till November for whatever reason. So now the day is tomorrow, and we're going to see, you know, what's really going on with that. Sports chat should be up and at it, and we'll have that conversation as well as, we'll probably do some picks tomorrow. I normally do it tonight, but you know, I didn't want to put my nine on the spot since she's the only one here. So, by the way, that Coach D guy, he lost the first game. He went with the Commanders. So he's gonna be a little bit upset about that. I mean, but but we're gonna do the picks more than likely tomorrow. We'll probably speak about the WWE tomorrow too, as SmackDown come on for 2 hours. I think the fight is gonna be the fight might be a little bit later, so we'll probably do all of that at one time. Don't do that. Uh, so we'll have the. What you mean a bummer? You want to pick your team? You can pick your teams if you want. It's up to you. We ain't gotta wait. We ain't gotta wait for Coach D, aka the Word, aka Master Splinter. We ain't gotta wait for him. He probably in the background listening, but I don't care. But if that's what you want to do, oh no, bummer for Coach D. Oh, but yeah, you know. But there's going to be a lot of good games coming on this Sunday. But before that, we'll allow the people to participate and pick. We may have like I said, we may have a conversation. Well, we are going to have a conversation about the fight, so we may be on a little bit later than expected. I don't know if he's supposed to be on now. He may be on now. I'm checking as we speak. But yeah, we'll talk. Oh, he's going on at 12:30. So we got about another 10 minutes to have, But we're going to speak about the Tyson Paul fight, and he'll probably join me to have a conversation because he's into the contact sport. We all into boxing, but that's something that he used to do. Shout out to the Word, and we'll have those conversations. But of course, we're always trying to make it comfortable for those that's coming in, and all is welcome. At the end of the day, this is a sports channel. We're going to try to keep it. We'll do more than we can to keep it on sports, but we want you guys to feel comfortable coming in as well. So we'll pick it up. We'll pick it up a little bit more. We always looking for participation. Shout out to those that participate. Lady Shay, Commander, Coach D, aka the Word. Realist. Shout out to Realist because he do participate when he can. But that's what it's about. We want the camaraderie. We want the people. Want you guys to come in, sit down. Hear the conversation. Pick a few games. See where your guessing game is at. Because I'm pretty sure everybody don't watch the sport. But hey, it doesn't hurt picking it either, right? You don't lose anything. Building camaraderie, making people feel comfortable. That's what we want on Sports Chat. We want you guys to have, a good time here. you know, and like I said, we're doing this, because I'll take accountability. I started the channel a little bit later than I was supposed to, but next year we're gonna do some new. We're gonna do some real good stuff. We're gonna have uh we're gonna have fantasy leagues for both sports, football and basketball. I'm not sure about, but I don't really do fantasy on baseball. I don't know who watches baseball, and then we'll continue to talk about the everyday sports, college football. We y'all want to talk about that? I'm updating everybody with the top 25. I know that people going to want to talk about Deion Sanders soon because he made his team is in the top 25. Now the speculation is that the Cowboys are looking at his son, and they may try to talk him into coming into the NFL and all of those other things. So we'll have those conversations, but it's all about you guys. What do you guys want to talk about? Y'all come on in, y'all have the conversation, whatever y'all want to have the conversation about. We will have the conversation right here on this, whether it's in the chat, whether you guys want to come up on a panel, have a conversation. It's up to you guys, but we are here for it. I'm here for it, and that's the way. We're gonna get together on sports chat with Mr. 33, and like I said, I'm here for you guys. You know, sports is one way we can, get away from the hustle and bustles of everyday life, right? Because most people who love the sports, they come home and they relax. They put their feet up. They watch whatever sport that is that they want to watch, and we can have those conversations. So we're here for you guys. I'm here for you guys. So whatever conversation you want to have, please make sure you can leave a conversation in on my community wall. The same way I suggest if anybody wants to pick the games for the week, they can do the same thing. Just put it on the community wall. It will be added on to the picks that we normally pick on here, and then we can go from there. So with that being said, we're gonna end this. Y'all go ahead and channel over to. Yeah, I was live. I was just about to tell everybody to come on over here with you because I know you got a few minutes. In a few minutes, you about to do your live. But I was just telling everybody, what's your outlook on, we was talking about, the Tyson Paul fight tomorrow, and I don't know. I think that's gonna be on a little later, so I might be on a little later to have that conversation. That's because there's no actual football game tomorrow. Well, no NFL game. Oh no, she ain't say much. I just told her you picked the Commanders, and they didn't win the game. It was a close game, but I was telling everybody that number 26 in green, he was doing the most in the fourth quarter. He took the game for y'all. You know what I mean? Commander said catch the replay. You missed the whole joint, but catch the replay. But I was just telling everybody that's gonna catch the replay or whatever. We'll talk about the Tyson Paul fight, and we'll probably speak about whatever happens on SmackDown tomorrow, and we'll probably pick some games. We'll probably pick the games tomorrow. But for the rest of the NFL week, there's some important games going on this week. The Steelers and the Ravens, they're playing for first place, like the Commanders and Eagles did tonight. And then you got the Bills playing the Chiefs. That's important because we're trying to see if the Chiefs, if they don't, I think if they don't lose tomorrow, they probably won't lose to like for another month, probably in like the last couple games in December. No, I did not. I missed it. I didn't even check it. You must have sent it. Like I ain't see that. I just see the StreamYard thingy. I see the StreamYard app. Let me see. Oh yeah, I seen that part. Yeah, I seen that. So we already know what's gonna happen with that, but we'll talk about that tomorrow too. We decided to wait for you to pick the games, and then we'll copy your picks. Oh Lord, that's what we do. That's what we doing. But he ain't ready to go live, man. Don't do that. He about to go live. He ain't gonna pick in 4 minutes. I know him. He ain't gonna pick these games in 4 minutes. I gotta wait till tomorrow. What up, though? He got to delineate the picks. But nah, but so if anything, we'll have those conversations tomorrow. Shout out to you guys that came through, and also shout out to the people that's gonna catch the replay. I gotta see what he talking about. What is his live gonna be about tonight? I forgot. I ain't even see it yet. Oh, that's the name of the live. What up, though? I done started bad already. I knew the Eagles was gonna win. I just wanted them to lose. There you go. You don't have that emotional. You don't have that emotional intelligence right now. You can't pick with emotions. I guess that's what the gut do. I guess I don't know, but y'all come on over. Y'all get ready for the word. He's checking in with his favorite line. He just catching up with the people tonight. He's been he's been missing for the week. But y'all come on over there and get ready to join the 9. The 9 is getting ready to come out. We're gonna show out. We're gonna conversate. We're gonna have a good time. Y'all go ahead and catch up with him though. So we're gonna talk a little bit more about tomorrow. But we'll, in the meantime, we catch up with y'all tomorrow. He already started. He do this to me all the time. Now I'll be wrong where I pull Commander up. Like, come on, Commander, let's talk about it. But we ain't doing that. We already a clip already. But now y'all go on over there and check out the word, see what he's talking about, and I'll catch up with y'all probably in 24 hours to review the fight and smack down and do the picks. So yeah, he left. He over there. He started the live. So until tomorrow, y'all, we gonna go over there and hang out with our buddy. Shout out to Commit. Man, how you still here and they talking about you started? What the? He was in the rapture trying to wait. He was over there thinking somebody gonna say so. Try to get us. He heard me say, "Well, what if I call Commander up and things like that?" But nah, we going over there with you, man. We gonna go hang out with you. It was crazy. I was watching the Pop of the Room segment. It was on I think it was on Instagram, I think. And I'm like, oh my God, they still doing this, but we gotta do better as a people. But anyway, Mr. 33 is about to sign off. We got to head over there. Look at the blind man, see everything. Well, you about to see us come over there and hang out with you then, because we on our way. So we gonna end this for tonight. Mr. 33 signing off. He see y'all within the 24 hours. You can't never do nothing. Yeah, he always somewhere, ain't he? But he gonna see. He ain't gonna see us about to jump on over there. Let that thing don't say he lied. You gonna have a problem. But we heading over there, y'all. We see you tomorrow night. I'm signing off. See you tomorrow. Mr. 33. He out.